we're live. Here we are. Welcome to Tea for Lunch. We're a few minutes behind because there was some breaking news. Beyonce's album leaked 2 days early, so had to investigate that, and we'll come back next week with our thoughts and feelings about it. But very excited about that. Should we have some Diet Coke?
Yes. We don't have tea today.
No, screw tea. Just kidding. It's funny that we have a show. Oh yeah, we gotta get this into the mic.
Do you hear that? Is it crisp?
You're welcome. Cheers.
Cheers.
How fun. Okay, we'll give people a few minutes to join. If you think this is sponsored by Coke, no, it's not. It's going to be very obvious it's not sponsored because I'm about to roast them in this episode. But we do have Diet Coke today, not tea, because we'll be talking about Diet Coke, and I thought that'd be fun. And we also hate tea.
Yeah.
Like, we have a whole show about tea for lunch, but like every single episode, whoever's on it is like, why do we have tea? No one even likes tea. But
that's the real tea.
That is the real
no
tea.
No one likes tea.
Well, welcome to Tea for Lunch, the show where we serve up the news that you need to know in 15 minutes or less. If you're new here every week, we go live on Instagram every Thursday at around 12:30 Mountain Standard Time. And we cover some top 3 stories that we think you need to know about. Some of it's around pop culture, some of it's around marketing, and you can catch the replay every Friday morning on all streaming platforms. So if you don't catch it on Instagram Live, you can also listen to our amazing, beautiful voices on podcasts. And today on the show, I'm very excited. We have Vern as a special co-host. Vern, why don't you tell the people who you are?
Hi, I'm Vern. That's my influencer voice. Hi. I am a social video producer here at Arcade. I live in Vancouver, but I'm visiting the office. So it's a special occasion. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to be on Tea for Lunch because I've been the one editing the last few episodes, so it's crazy to be here in real life.
Yeah, it's so fun. So Vern is our only full-time remote employee, and so it's very cool and surreal to have her in real life with us at the office. And it's been a long time coming to have you actually at Arcade. So I met Vern like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe. Is that too long? Like 3 years ago?
Yeah, I think so, because I think I tagged Waves in something.
Right.
Because I listened to the first season of Waves, and I was like, this is amazing, shared it on my story, and I think that's when we started talking.
Yeah, and then we have followed each other for a while since, and then I wanted to bring you on the team a few years ago, but we weren't ready for remote team members. We were based in Calgary, she was based in Vancouver, and I think I just didn't work out at the time, and then we, as like business evolved and things like that, we knew we needed a role at the team about like social video because it's such a important piece of social programming. And actually, we're talking about video today, which is fitting.
Stay tuned.
So now she's finally joined us, and it's been a long time coming, and just so excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here in Calgary.
What do you think about Calgary? Yeah, first time here.
Like, I expected it to be totally flat, but it's not. No. And they actually have a lot of cute coffee shops and shops around, and it's sunny, which is important because in Vancouver, it literally rained until like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's so depressing.
Nice. Yeah, but I used to be from Vancouver. So.
I can say that because I lived there. If you're offended, I'm not sorry, but yeah, it's nice that it's sunny here most of the time. Well, let's get into our stories. It's gonna be a good one. Our first story of the day, Kate Moss came out with a Diet Coke campaign, and it's her first Diet Coke campaign since she's been named creative director at Diet Coke. So earlier this month, Kate Moss was named the creative director at Diet Coke, and the company just released its first series led by Moss, inspired by her iconic fashion archives. The can features Kate Moss's favorite fashion moments from the past 4 decades, and it's available in like denim, leopard, lace, and camouflage designs, plus her signature and monochromatic portrait. And it pays homage to Diet Coke's 40th birthday. And I have some thoughts here. I think this campaign is lazy at best. Anytime a brand pulls in like a celebrity, like CEO or creative director, or like recently Beyond Meat had Kim Kardashian as like its chief taste consultant. It's such a PR stunt. It's like they're obviously not doing any actual work in the company, but this could have been so much more interesting. I would have loved to see Diet Coke actually do some sort of like video series with Kate Moss and her daughter, who's I think more like, not more interesting, but more relevant right now.
It's like the next generation.
Exactly.
See, this is what I think is funny. So, like the modeling culture back then, when I think of Kate Moss, it's like when everyone was referring to their diets, it's like cigarettes and Diet Coke, and like that sort of diet culture and model culture, and like her famous quote, like, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. Like, and now it's kind of bringing that back. Like, that's what I think of, and it's not super positive, but she could have used that campaign with her daughter to kind of reinvent that and kind of change that. Because
change the narrative.
When they bring this up to her, she plays on it. She's like, I've always loved Coke, and like winks at the camera, and
and that's that, you know. Yeah, I think I would have loved to see a video series with her and her daughter, who's also a model and like a really successful model, and they could have been like, I would have loved to see like 2 side-by-side comparisons of like their model life, and like running to set and running to an interview and running on like a live, and then showing them have like Diet Coke in between, and then maybe they'd like regroup later that night and like share a Diet Coke. Like I think that would have been super cute. Or I thought they could also be like, she could have her daughter wearing a lot of like Kate Moss's iconic looks, like around lace and like leopard and stuff like that.
And then so good.
Yeah, Kate Moss could have been like behind the scenes, like directing her, and then like giving her a Diet Coke or something, or like ending the day with a Diet Coke. Like there's so many other angles they could have taken with this.
Listen, Coke, if you're listening, we have ideas.
Yeah,
you know where to find us.
They could have Calgary. It just felt so lazy. Just like throwing on lace and her signature to a can is not a campaign, in my opinion.
They just want to throw her name on there.
Yeah, and I get it. I get why. She's an iconic symbol in fashion, but I just felt it was boring. Yeah. So on to the next. Better. Yeah, do better. Do you want to bring it to our next story?
Okay, so back to a video. Adam Mosseri responds to Instagram backlash. So after rolling out a series of changes this month, including a new feed for some, I know I got it, and then it changed back, and now they're rolling it out to other users. And people have had enough. Even Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner posted on their stories asking to bring back the old Instagram, which is kind of a big deal because once they kind of comment that, it kind of, the backlash increases. And he actually posted a response video talking about the changes and what to expect going forward. And he talks about how Instagram wants to do right by creators, but also notes that the world is changing quickly and we have to change along with it. And he does note that a lot of these changes at this stage are just tests, but video will be a primary feature of the platform going forward, which I'm not surprised because I feel like they started implementing that in small doses, but now he's kind of confirmed that it's going to be a video-first platform.
Do you think Adam Mosseri is gaslighting us all? Like, he keeps saying that the world is moving towards video, but like, aren't we all saying that we don't want that?
Yeah, gaslight gatekeep.
Like, everyone's saying, like, all that post that went viral that Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner shared was like, we just want to see photos of our friends. Yeah. Like, pretty clear, like, we want to see photos. Yeah. But then he's like, no, the world's evolving to video. And he's saying that the most engaged posts are videos. But then in the comments, like I was reading the comments to his video, everyone's like, we're only making videos because that's the only thing that performs well.
Because they're manipulating it to be that way.
So is he gaslighting us all to think that video is the future, or is it?
So, because like the whole premise of social media is so that you can keep up with your friends, right? And that's why everyone loves Instagram as opposed to TikTok, because that's where you keep up with like your friends' lives. You see everything chronologically, but now we're being forced to watch videos. That's all we see, so obviously that's all we engage with.
Right. And also that's why Be Real is blowing up, which is a photo only platform for now. Yeah. And it's like real-time photo moments. And that's doing really well. So
yeah, see, we don't have that in Vancouver yet.
Like, you don't have Be Real?
Like, no. Oh, I downloaded it and it's had like no contacts to add.
Oh my gosh, girl, you just gotta add everyone here. Literally, we're all on it. It's like everyone at Arcade is just, that's my whole Be Real.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's not like popular in Vancouver yet.
No, not yet. It hasn't made it there yet.
Oh my gosh, are we trend-setting
in
Calgary?
I think so. I want to bring this back to Vancouver.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I don't know. I think it just makes sense that people are getting frustrated by all the like updates. Literally every single week this year, there's been like a new Instagram update. So I can't see how Facebook and Adam Mosseri is surprised that we're all like, can you stop? Yeah. But they just really need to get their act together.
But also I don't mind because, that's kind of my job.
Yeah, true. Like we are gambling quite a bit on video. But yeah, I'd say there's my thoughts and my, like, I feel like what they're going to do. They're not going to stop doing, like, focusing on video and promoting video more. But I do feel like maybe they'll consider making our feeds like a bit more or stop showing people like random people on our feeds. I think that's the biggest thing. Like every time I scroll on my feed, and I know they have like multiple feed options coming and they're testing that, but I just don't like seeing random like people I don't know or follow or have any connection to.
So what's the point of that? I'm like, who is this? Do I follow this person?
Yeah, and I wonder if like the everyday man is gonna be like me, who's not like a creator. Like I don't. It's like all I hear from Adam Mosseri is like, we're making it better for creators, but like what about for me?
But I guess that's because that's where the money comes in with the ads,
right?
And the creators and the brand partnerships, and I think that's kind of where they're like there's a fine line between that. Whereas the people that use it to keep up with their families are really annoyed, but then if you're a creator, does it give you more opportunities? So I feel like it's like two sides of the coin. Yeah.
So at some point, you need an audience for the creators to connect with.
Yeah.
So are those people like, is it eventually just gonna be like a platform for creators like
I think so.
Talking to creators?
Yeah.
Like how is that helpful for anyone?
I know. It's so fun. I'm packing up my things and I'm moving to TikTok.
Okay. I'm gonna try. Okay, last story. This is an exciting one. Glossier is coming to Sephora. So Glossier is making headlines this week after their first ever retail partnership was announced, which is Sephora, which is a huge deal. So Glossier forever has never had any wholesale partners. They've only been available through their direct-to-consumer website. So this is like a huge deal that they're starting to branch out into wholesale. And I'm actually like, I'm so surprised because I feel like they held out for so long. They're like, they haven't like explored wholesale forever, and like they're such a big brand, especially like a big millennial brand. So it's really surprising to me that they're going to Sephora of all places. Makes sense it's Sephora because it's such a big like beauty brand,
beauty hub, and it's global.
Yeah, but I'm just so like curious as to why.
I know, like to me, when I think of Glossier, I know it was like an experience for me to travel across the border, go to New York or something, visit the store and buy something. Whereas, like, I feel like their branding is so strong, their stores are beautiful. Whereas if they put their products, like, amongst a sea of products that are available at Sephora, I don't know if I would opt for Glossier when I have so many other options. So that's kind of like the other side of it.
It's almost like, is it too late for them to be at Sephora?
So. Yeah.
Because, like, I go to Sephora for so many other brands. I don't really think about Glossier at Sephora. Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I will.
Yeah, the branding of Glossier, I think, is what sells it, and that's why millennials love it so much. But when it comes to, like, actual formulation of products and effectiveness and costs and things like that, I think they're going to have a lot of competition at Sephora.
Totally, so. They will. And I think it's really interesting, like, D2C, like, purchases right now, like, e-commerce in general is really suffering. So I think it's really interesting that right now, like, post-pandemic, they're considering going to, like, a wholesale partner because it's really, really hard for a D2C brand to, like, survive on its own without wholesale right now. So it makes sense from a business perspective while they're, like, to branch out and do all that. But yeah, I'm just curious if they're gonna stand up to the rest of the brands that are at Sephora.
I guess we'll see, because I know they did close a bunch of their stores and then they opened in a few cities. Like Seattle, it's a really beautiful store, and then New York, I think.
Have you been to their stores?
I've been to the one in New York, and there's always like a huge lineup, and you kind of go just for the novelty of like it's a place to visit, and then you kind of take a souvenir home with you, and the fact that you can't get it in Canada is like a major appeal, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I'm so curious to see how it does, and I really hope that they don't slow down the retail stores because they're so iconic and beautiful.
Yeah.
Like I've actually never been to one in real life, but they just look so beautiful. And it is something that, like, okay, if I go to LA, I'd want to go to their store or like whatever.
Yeah, and it's like the personalized service, and everyone's in the pink little jumpsuits, and they like wrap it for you. It's an experience, I think.
Yeah, I agree. So I hope that they keep that up. Well, those are our top 3 stories for today. Vern, you did amazing. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
For lunch. This was fun. And now that we've wet your palate, go eat something more substantial. Thanks for joining us. Cheers.
Cheers.